Hello, everyone, and welcome to my coloring corner. Today we are reading Chapter 2 from the Mystical Lands Chronicles, Book 2, Christmas Crystals and Chrysalis. Lila's boots crunched softly against the frost-kissed earth as she wearily trudged away from her home, leaving behind the only world she'd ever known. Not long ago, she had joyfully celebrated her 15th birthday with her mother and some family friends at her cottage. She never dreamed that she would be tested so soon, at such a tender age. The wind whispers secrets through the trees, as if urging her to turn back. But Lila steeled herself, pressing onward towards the woodland trail that would lead her to the sacred spring and the entrance of the mystical lands. Though Lila had never walked this trail before, as it was forbidden by the village elders, she knew that under these dire circumstances the time was right for her to follow this route. The elders, as well as some of the old adventurers, had spoken of the path and its location, and that it would lead directly to the sacred spring. As she wandered through the forest, guided by the faint glimmer of starlight, Lila pondered the road before her. Am I brave enough for this? She wondered. Her thoughts a swirling mix of fear and resolve. The voices of fox, squirrel, and rabbit echoed in her mind like sweet melodies, offering encouragement and wisdom. Trust yourself, Lila, Fox said. You are stronger than you know. Believe in the magic within you, Squirrel added. The prophecy of the Protector has chosen you for a reason. Courage is not absence of fear, Rabbit reminded her. It is the willingness to face it. Their words swirled around her like a comforting embrace, fortifying her spirit as she pressed onwards towards the concealed doorway to the mystic lands. She heard wolves howling in the distance and the far-off roar of a river. The magic crystal weighed comfortingly in her pocket, pulsing with an energy that seemed to match her own. She knew that this crystal was more than just a pretty bauble. It was a powerful tool that would help her achieve her mission. A sense of urgency filled her soul. Suddenly, a loud whooshing sound emanated from above, and the woods glittered with sparks of light, bathed in the glow of 1,000 fireflies. Lila first laid eyes upon Xanthiel, the archangel who would serve as her mentor. With a thunderous noise, the archangel Xanthiel descended from the skies, his wings beating at her like sails on a battleship. He was an impressive figure with long white hair, striking blue eyes, and a flowing robe fashioned of brilliant white light. Before Lila, he brandished an ornate sword and spoke in a booming voice. I am Xanthiel, sent from the heavens to guide you on your quest. Xanthiel, she breathed, her voice trembling with awe and trepidation. I am Lila, and I have come to fulfill my destiny as foretold in the prophecy of the Protector. Ah, young Lila, Xanthiel replied, his voice like a gentle rustle of dried leaves. Your arrival has been anticipated. But know this, you must face great challenges and confront your deepest fears before you can truly embrace your destiny. Tell me what I must do, Lila said boldly. I will no longer let fear stand in my way. I will save my mother from the Dark King, and I will protect the magic crystals from falling into his hands. Very well, Xanthiel responded, a hint of admiration in his tone. You have taken the first steps on the journey that will test the limits of your courage and strength. But remember, you are never alone. The animals of the forest, the mystical creatures of the mystical lands, and even the stars above you are your allies, ready to guide and support you in times of need. Thank you, Zamfiel, Lila whispered, feeling the weight of her responsibility settling onto her shoulders like a heavy cloak, but a warm one, because she did not bear it alone. Though the road ahead contained perils unknown, she held allies as well. The moon cast a silvery glow through the dense canopy of trees, illuminating Zamfiel's ethereal figure as he stood before Lila. The robe that draped his tall angelic form glimmered like stardust, and his silvery white hair flowed down to his waist, framing the ageless face with pale eyes that held the wisdom of ages. A magnificent pair of wings, each feather gleaming like a polished pearl, unfurled gracefully behind him. Your journey has just begun, Lila, Zamfiel said, his melodious voice resonating with the ancient power that seemed to vibrate through her very soul. The prophecy of the Protector foretells that you are destined to find the luminary and defeat the Dark King. Lila's pulse raced as she listened to Zamfiel's words. She couldn't fathom how someone like her, a simple village girl, could be the one spoken of in such an important prophecy. But she knew that she must try. Her strong will burned bright within her, fueled by love and courage. Tell me what I must do to find the luminary, Zamfiel, she implored, her, her voice firm and resolute. A gentle smile touched Zamfiel's lips as he regarded Lila with a mixture of pride and affection. Your bravery and selflessness are truly admirable, young one. To find the luminary, you must journey towards Calandra in the mystical lands of the Crystal Caverns, deep within the Whispering Woods, known to some as the Whispering Wood. There, among the labyrinth tunnels and glittering crystal formations, you will find the luminary awaiting your arrival. I appreciate your confidence in me, Zamfiel, Lila breathed, her mind already racing with thoughts of the daunting journey ahead. But how will I know what to say when I meet the luminary? What if they don't believe that I am the one spoken of in the prophecy of the Protector? Zampiel reached out and gently placed his hand on Lila's shoulder, his touch as soft and warm as a sunbeam. Fear not, Lila. When you stand before the luminary and speak from your heart, the truth of your words will be undeniable. Remember, you are the Protector, and you are the strength of your spirit will guide you. As Zamfiel's voice filled her with a renewed sense of purpose, Lila looked into his ageless eyes and saw the vast expanse of knowledge contained within them. She knew that she could trust him to guide her on this perilous journey, and with a determined nod she committed herself to the task at hand. I will not fail, Zampiel, she vowed, her voice unwavering. His face warmed with approval. Zampiel stepped back, allowing Lila to take her first steps on the route that would lead her to her destiny and to the fulfillment of the prophecy of the Protector. With that, Zamfiel disappeared into the heavens, but the spirit of his presence and his voice remained. As Lila continued along the woodland trail, her boots crunching softly in the snow-dusted ground, she felt a tingling sensation in her veins. It was as if the very air around her hummed with the magic of this ancient place. The prophecy of the Protector had seemed an impossible tale when she first heard the words whispered around the village. And now here she stood at the threshold of destiny. Listen well, Lila, Zamfiel said, his voice resonating like the gentle rustle of leaves. The prophecy speaks of a time when darkness threatens to consume the mystic lands. It tells of a young girl born both human and magical blood, who will raise who will raise as the protector. She will be the shield who will join with the light to vanquish the dark king and restore balance in our world. Lila's eyes widened and she was overcome with emotions. Was she truly the one the prophecy had spoken of? She didn't understand how she possibly could be how she could possibly have both human and mystical blood. Had her father possessed mystical blood? This was another mystery to her. What else is hidden from me? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Other worries rose to her lips, and now she had someone who would share them. I've only recently turned 15. How can I possibly defeat the Dark King? Your age matters not, Zampiel replied, his ethereal voice unwavering. It is your heart and your courage that will guide you. You have already shown great bravery by leaving your home and venturing into the unknown lands. Trust yourself, Lila, for you are more powerful than you know. As Zampiel spoke, his words etched themselves deeply in Lila's mind. She could feel them taking root, sprouting like seeds within her soul. Be brave, be strong, she repeated the mantra silently, drawing strength from the archangel's wisdom. Remember, Lila, Zampiel continued, his voice echoing between the trees. You have been chosen for this mission, not by chance, but by fate. Your essence is intertwined with the prophecy, and your destiny has been foretold. Lila closed her eyes, allowing Zampiel's words to wash over her like a cleansing rain. She inhaled deeply, tasted the crisp winter air on her tongue. As she exhaled, she felt the surge of willpower coursing through her veins, igniting a fire within her that burned away her lingering doubts. Yes, Zampiel, she said, her voice steady and resolute. I understand now. I won't let worries hold me back any longer. Your resolve brings me great joy, young Lila, Zampiel replied, pride warming his melodic voice. Now go forth and seek the luminary, for he shall guide you further. Lila hiked further down the forest trail, her steps determined and full of purpose. The prophecy of the protector had chosen her, and she would not waver in the face of darkness. For her mother, for the mystical lands, and for herself, she would prevail. She would face the Dark King and emerge victorious. As Lila stepped deeper into the eerie moonlit forest, the trees whispered secrets to one another. Their branches swayed like ancient arms bearing witness to the ages that had passed. And the light coating of snow on the ground appeared as powdered sugar in the silvery moonlight. She clutched her weighty satchel tightly and forged ahead, her mind racing. Find the luminary, Zemphiel urged her. He will guide you on your quest and provide you with the spell of containment. Lila instinctively knew that the spell of containment was the key to defeating the Dark King. It would allow her to trap him, rendering his dark power useless and freeing her mother from his wicked grasp. The thought of her mother imprisoned and suffering under the Dark King's malevolent control steeled Lila's resolve. She could not, would not fail. As Lila ventured further into the shadowy woods, a rustling sound caught her attention. Her breath hitched and her senses heightened. Her fingers gently brushed against the magic crystal hidden within her cloak. A small brown possum dropped down from the tree branch just ahead of Lila, its nimble tail holding tightly to the branch, its beady eyes fixed on her. Ah, young protector, the possum said telepathically, its tone filled with reverence. We've been expecting you. The forest whispers your name, and we stand ready to aid you at your quest. I truly appreciate your support, Lila replied, her thoughts mixing both gratitude and trepidation. I must find the luminary, for he holds the key to saving my mother and the world from the Dark King's evil plan. The possum nodded solemnly, its small body quivering with barely restrained energy. You are brave, Protector. We will do all we can to help you succeed. The luminary resides in the crystal caverns. To reach him, you must first pass through the sacred spring in the enchanted glade. Enchanted glade? Lila's eyes widened in awe. She had not heard of that location, not in any of the stories. How do I find it? Listen to your heart, Protector, the possum urged, its tiny paws gesturing towards Lila's chest. It will guide you. With a deep breath, Lila closed her eyes, focusing on the thrum of her heartbeat. As she opened herself to the mystical energies that flowed through the forest, she felt a gentle tug, an invisible thread pulling her deeper into the woods. I am so grateful for your guidance, Lila whispered to the possum. Filled with hope, she sent off once more, her steps light and purposeful, as she followed the path before her. A gust of wind whispered through the trees, stirring the dry leaves and carrying with it the scent of danger. Lila paused on the trail, her body suddenly clenching with fear. Fox, can you tell me where the Dark King is holding my mother? She called out, telepathically, desperate for any news. The cursed ones took her and all the villagers, Fox answered, his voice tinged with worry. The Dark King's minions were careful to keep them all alive, but we couldn't see where they were taken. Lila's pulse quickened. A cold dread washed over her as she pictured her mother at the mercy of such sinister forces. She knew that the Dark King planned to use her mother as a bargaining chip, threatening her life in order to force Lila to hand over the magic crystal, he thought. Time is running out, Rabbit chimed in, his voice trembling with urgency. If the Dark King succeeds in stealing all the magic crystals, darkness will consume the world and its inhabitants. Yes, indeed, Squirrel added solemnly. The land will wither, the rivers will run dry, and the skies will forever shrouded in shadows. The prophecy of the Protector foretells this great calamity, and only you, dear Lila, can prevent it. Gripping her satchel tightly, Lila drew strength from the connection she shared with her animal friends. Then I must hurry, she said, her voice steady. I will find the luminary and learn the spell of containment. Be cautious, Lila warned Fox. The road ahead is treacherous, and the Dark King's minions will do everything in their power to thwart your quest. Let them try, Lila declared, her green eyes blazing with fortitude. I will not be deterred. With a deep breath, she steeled herself for the trail that awaited her and continued down the pathway to the enchanted glade, the sacred spring, and ultimately into the mystical lands to find the luminary. In her soul, Lila knew there was no turning back. The fate of her mother and the world hung in the balance. She was their last hope. The moon, a pale silver orb in the velvety night sky, cast an eerie glow on the woodland trail. Lila stepped softly over the frost-kissed leaves as she ventured deeper into the forest. Her breath visible in the cold air, shadows danced and whispered around her, but her spirit was filled with purpose and that burned brighter than any fear. Stay close to me, Squirrel, chattered. Stay close to me, Squirrel chattered nervously from the crook of a nearby tree. Her bushy tail twitched anxiously. Of course, Lila murmured, her voice a mix of grit and gratitude. I couldn't do this without you all. Remember, child, Rabbit's voice echoed in Lila's mind, soft as the rustle of grass. Not everything is as it seems in these woods. Trust your instincts and heed our warnings." "Indeed," Fox agreed, his russet fur shimmering like fire breath in the moonlight. "The cursed ones are cunning and ruthless. They will use every trick at their disposal to lead you astray." Lila clenched her jaw, her eyes narrowing with resolve. She imagined her mother bound and helpless in some desolate lair of the Dark King, and the thought toughened her spirit like nothing else could. "I am ready for them," she vowed, her voice resolute. "Your bravery is admirable, young one," Zempiel said, appearing suddenly beside her in a swirl of iridescent light. "But remember, courage alone will not be enough. You must also rely on your wits and your newfound magical abilities." "Zempiel," she breathed, awestruck by the angel's overworldly beauty, "I promise to do as you've instructed me. The prophecy of the Protector has chosen me, and I won't let it down." "Very well," the celestial being replied, his voice like a full chorus of angels. "Venture forth with care and strength, for the road ahead is fought with peril and deception. And remember, Lila, we're always with you." With that he vanished again, leaving only a trace of heavenly light in his wake. Lila took a deep breath, trying to grasp the enormity of the task before her. But she pushed the fear aside as she strode ahead, focusing instead on the love she held for her mother and the world that had given her so much. "I will succeed," she whispered in the darkness, her voice unwavering. Moonlight pierced through the canopy of leaves, creating a shimmering path before Lila as she pressed onward towards the sacred spring. The air was thick with secrets, and the whispers of the forest seemed to beckon her deeper into the shadows beyond the path. "Stay true to your course," reminded Fox, loud barking as his loud bark echoing through the trees. "The sacred spring lies just beyond that bend. Thanks to your help, I will find it, Fox," Lila replied, her breath hanging in the crisp night air. She tightened her grip on the straps of her backpack, feeling the weight of the supply she carried for this long and frightening journey. "Be careful, Lila," warned Rabbit, his voice soft yet insistent. "There are many hidden dangers lurking in these woods." "I will, Rabbit," Lila assured him, her eyes scanning the darkness for any signs of threat. As she walked, she felt the magic crystal pulsing gently like a heartbeat. It was a reminder of her purpose. "Remember, Lila," the squirrel chittered from the branch above her. "The giant doorway to the mystical lands is hidden from sight. You must trust your instincts and the guidance of nature." "I will remember your words, squirrel," Lila responded, filled with gratitude for the support of her woodland friends. I promise to stay vigilant and follow my intuition." As she approached the bend that Fox had described, Lila noticed a faint glow emanating from beyond the curve. The hairs on the back of her neck stood on end, and a shiver ran down her spine. She knew she was getting closer to her destination, and with each step the stakes only grew higher. "Trust yourself, Lila," she whispered under her breath, her thoughts swirling like leaves that danced in the night breeze. "You are the key to unlock the secrets of the prophecy, and you have the power within you to overcome any obstacle." As Lila rounded the bend, the moonbeams revealed the enchanted glade, where the trees sang ancient songs and the air was filled with magic. Lila saw a clearing with a pool of water at the center, the sacred spring. The surface of the water shimmered with an otherworldly light, and the air was alive with the melodies of unseen creatures. "Here it is, Lila," Fox said, his voice filled with awe. The entrance to the mystical lands lies beneath the surface of the spring. Thank you for helping me, my friend, Lila breathed, her eyes wide with wonder. She stepped closer to the edge of the pool, her reflection distorted by the ripples of light. She hesitated for a moment, feeling the enormity of her task ahead. But then she braced herself, drawing strength from the love she had for her mother. And that is the end of chapter 3, or chapter 2, sorry. And next week we will be coloring a page from chapter 2. And on next Sunday we will read chapter 3. That is the end of our reading today. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you have enjoyed chapter 2 of the Mystical Lens Chronicles, Book 2, Christmas Crystals and the Chrysalis by Karen E. Myers. All right, guys. Of course, always remember to like, comment, and subscribe to any YouTube artist that you enjoy. And always remember to relax, color, and stay safe. Until next time, bye bye for now.